Good morning, guys. It's Heather from Tomatoes, Puppies, and Everything Gardening. I'm out here in my new little coffee spot that has been created by these lovely green stalks around me. I'll put a picture up so you can see exactly where I'm sitting and exactly how cozy it looks. So I can just sit here and look at the birds and the bees and really enjoy my morning coffee. And then also, Tonto's usually out here taking his first morning break. Doing this morning is I'm going to take you around. Since today is August 30th, we're going to do my August garden tours. I may divide them up. I may put them all into one video. So if you enjoy all of my garden tours, I usually do break them into 3 parts. I may not today. I'm not sure how long they're going to take. I'm going to do a little bit different format. And I just wanted to get that done before August is completely over. I'm doing a horrible job doing garden tours just because there's been so much to keep up with. It's been a busy time of year. August is in general for harvest, but I've had back to school, kids starting college, painting a room, lots of doctor's appointments, eyeglass issue. I don't even want to talk about that, but we've been back and forth, I don't know, 5-6 times. Finally, that issue is settled and my daughter can see, which is important, right, for school. Anyways, let's get started. And if I do divide the videos up, you're going to see this intro clip several times, so sorry about that. I'm just not sure yet how we're going to do it. It depends on the time, but the different format today is going to be, I'm going to do like a walk with you, but I'm going to be telling me what I need to get done this week, because there are a lot of things that have been neglected. We've had storms. First we had really hot, dry weather for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, and then we've had rain after a really long spring and summer full of rain. So there is a lot of disease out here. I did cut down my cucumber last night, my big one, the Space Master that was doing so well. It finally succumbed to issues, diseases. So let's get busy. Out of my back door here onto the first deck, the upper deck, and there's a lot that needs to get done up here. We'll just ignore this because this is part of another video and I have a lot to get done there. But also on the deck, we need to start thinking about taking care of these strawberries for the season coming up, especially these guys over here. All this yuckiness needs to get cut off. Look at all that moldy grossness. So there are some new leaves in here. I'm going to trim off all the older leaves and just leave nice, fresh, new growth. Goodness. Just lots and lots of mess here. I see some tomatoes I need to get harvested. I still haven't cut down those Ace 55s in that big pot. That needs to happen. And the ginger is looking so nice. That'll be a future thing that we need to take care of, not to worry about now. That's more of a late September, mid-October chore. This pineapple sage looking lovely. That will not survive in a container over winter. So we need to think about where we want to put that guy soon. This little white rose finally fleshed out with foliage. And for that chocolate Tasmanian back there, there's a baby down in there. I'm hoping he will take off and grow so that I will have something in that container that may or may not produce by the first frost. And there's a couple over here as well. More ginger. Now this guy in this tiny container, that was part of an experiment. I'm going to put him in the ground. That container is too small, so now I know, yes, you cannot, or no, you cannot grow peppers in such tiny containers. So that was an experiment. Did not get any fruit off of my fig this year, so maybe next year. Persian shield is still looking incredibly beautiful in this location as an understory plant. Now we are going to walk down to my lower deck, check everything out. I did give a little bit of food to my impatiens the other day, and I had been meaning to make a video for y'all this summer about taking cuttings off of impatiens, and I never got around to it, and it's kind of late now. Although they won't die until we get our first frost. It's possible I could go ahead and take some cuttings and root them and then plant them in the backyard in the shade. But that is something you can do to spread your plant money, especially with something like an impatient. Just take cuttings, root them, and then you've got whole new plants for free. Okay, all this can just be stable. Don't really need to do anything right there. Do want to get a fall planter for this marmalade plant and go ahead and get it potted up for coming back inside for the winter. China aster, I'm going to cut these, put them in a vase, clean up this pot so that my rose is not feeling neglected in there. I'll probably harvest some of that holy basil too. Now when you grow holy basil in the shade, and when we get out front, you'll see the difference. So this is very low part sun holy basil, and the leaves get so wide, and there's still a beautiful, vibrant color. Actually, maybe more of a more beautiful, vibrant color than the ones out front that get real tiny leaves because they're in full sun. These two pots need to get some help ASAP. The cumin did germinate, but because of all the rain, it's been crushed. It needs more sun. So now that it's germinated, I'm going to move it out front where it gets some nice, hot, dry weather and full sun. This cutting off of a African blue basil. So as you can see how, let me put my coffee down. It is growing horizontally. So each one of these upshoots that is growing, we can cut those and root those and have whole new plants. And I like to take cuttings of these guys mid-October, and I will keep them rooted for like a month or so and then pot them up so I have plants for next year. This is not really a plant you can easily get seeds for. Usually have to buy this variety. So I like to keep the cuttings going year after year. So the original basil that I bought, it's probably like 3 years ago. I kept it alive that first winter, and then the next winter mine all died. I don't know what happened, but Ivy, my friend, had kept some alive that I had given her, and so she was able to give me some this year. So now I have a new cycle of plants going. I don't think we're going to talk about the Greenstalks today. They are pretty stable at this point, and there's not a whole lot I can do until these tomatoes come out because they're so big. They're taking up so much light. It's really hard to grow anything new down lower. As you can see, that bean is struggling. I do need to harvest this kale. I'm going to make one of those mock Chick-fil-A kale salads. Done that several times before. It's a great recipe. Maybe I'll make a short about it. This fish pepper is one of my favorite plants this summer. I love it. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. I actually made a short about it. I haven't posted it yet. But I'm going to harvest all the peppers, and we're going to make some cowboy candy with that because, well, I can't tolerate heat anymore since I've had COVID the first time. Everything hot is extremely hot to me now. Where I used to be able to eat jalapeno poppers, they just really are almost just too hot for me. So this is a similar heat to jalapeno, maybe just a touch hotter. So I thought I'd make some cowboy candy. And I think everything over here is pretty stable. There was a tomato plant in here. It was a Bradley, where the basil is in this white pot. It developed late blight. And I'll put some pictures up here. And you can see that the coloring of the stem turned black, and it was an ascending disease that went from the soil level up. And when I removed that plant, it did go into the trash bag, but as soon as I saw the hollow stem, which is indicative of late blight, so I felt pretty confident that was the issue going on. So that plant was completely removed. I do have some Brussels sprout babies down in here, and they should be fine. They should not be affected by that late blight in the soil. It's the same soil. I just put a new layer of dirt down before I planted the seeds. Do have some peppers struggling still in these containers because of a soil issue that I bought. Some soil that was just not draining well at all. And I hate that some of my planters do have that in it still. just a hodgepodge of mess. This dragon fruit will need to get taken inside mid-October, but that's a later thing that needs to happen. I did actually get around to finally pruning these wild tomatoes here, and I think I'm going to leave them and just see what happens. You can see I did a really wonky pruning where I actually pulled some vines down here and put soil on top so that I could root these suckers that actually had buds on them. So we'll see how that goes. This guy here, this is a Paul Robeson. Probably going to have to take him out soon, but this purple Cherokee here is hanging on, and I did get a little aggressive in my pruning just because we have so many diseases going on from all this rain. I think I hear the garbage man out front. Really anxious to get one of these Fred's tie-dye tomatoes. You can see they're already starting to get striped. And that's what they do. They have a beautiful pattern. I think it's orange and red, so I can't wait to see that. Finally, I got 2 or 3. Sorry, I gotta shake the camera. Somebody's biting me. I got a mosquito on me. Mosquitoes are horrible right now. I finally got to eat a couple of the Purple Rain tomatoes. I'll put some pictures up here. Gorgeous color. I am saving the seeds. I did not isolate the buds. Actually, I might see. Has this one already started? Yeah, it's too late for these guys. I may try to get some isolated buds before they open for pollination to isolate the seeds, but I have been saving the seeds of the ones I've been eating just because I think this is a variety that's really hard to get the seeds right now. At least it was when I was looking for information on this variety in the spring. I bought my seeds like 2 years ago. So the peppers and the Greenstalks, they're doing well. Finally, it took a long time for them. We've been harvesting those little baby eggplants. There's not a whole lot of recipes you can make with those. I don't know if I'll grow them again. I've got a new recipe I'm going to try tonight, but last time I used a bunch to make ratatouille. So, let's see. I guess that's about everything up here. Got some beans on these trellises on this first L-shaped bed. I do have 2 Space Master cucumbers. Okay, so this is where I normally start the next garden tour, and I think I will go ahead and just kind of stop here for the deck container slash Greenstalk tour because I talk so long. Sorry, but yeah, I don't want to make these like 45 minutes long, so I'm gonna go ahead. We'll pause here. Look at this gorgeous Queen Line Zinnia. And that is from a cutting. And I don't know if you saw my short, but I've been taking cuttings off of this one and actually rooting them and having whole new zinnia plants. And this is the first year that I knew I could do that. But just experimenting, I learned that I could do that. So it is so exciting to learn new things, and that is why I love gardening so much. Anyways, it is time to end this tour. We're going to go ahead. I'm going to immediately start the next one because I have a feeling it's going to be pretty long because I got a lot of stuff I need to do. And look, I forgot to bring in my pruners yesterday, which is not good. Okay guys, see you in just a few minutes. Thanks for watching.